Hi, this is the Social Distance Reading Series, a project of the Vermont School and Green Mountains Review. I am Aricka Foreman, author of the chapbook Dream with a Glass Chamber, published in 2016, as well as the forthcoming full-length debut SALT Body Shimmer, which will be released by Yes Yes Books on August 11 of this year. Thank you for joining me in occupied Chicago, Illinois, located on the ancestral lands of the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi nations, as well as the Miami, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Suk, Fox, Kickapoo, and Illinois nations. My poems and essays have appeared in Anomaly, Southern Indiana Review, Thrush Poetry, BuzzFeed, Catapult, and the anthology Furious Flower, Seeding the Future of African American Poetry, among others. I will be reading just a handful of poems from my full-length debut, SALT Body Shimmer. Again, that is from Yes Yes Books, who is also my publisher for my chapbook, Dream with a Glass Chamber. Master of my make-believe. 1. I spoke into the chamber of myself and took back the Jericho of my name. 2. The golden, supremacy, natural, as ritual, longing a kissed thing, which supposition, exhausted question, or none, not if or if that imagination, arrogant with fear. It takes a village to survive and confuse it with living, a history hell-bent, erasing, burning, the state of nothings, inference, blank and unblanked breathing, snuffed, made ditch-worthy, suffocated armature, pressed, limp, a fact blurred, the lie, the syllogism seared, inescapable. Can't body future, body past participle, bagged, typed over, tinctured in the molecule, drink, drunk, hungover and echoed, steered into then, steel of it, industrial soaked, thirst. Fatigue being the only word swelled beneath my tongue, I drank until each bud was plump. Spit burst and slurring, I begged the next familiar lover. I am trying to unsee the need to be desired, deny this country another glass of wine. I plate a whole bird, slathered in salt and butter. I wear my good dress and heels. Tits perched as high as the crisp brown breast of this feast. And won't you try to ride me into your horizon of longing until the receding light is swallowed up? Out there, you keep your ideologies of God, alabaster and dew glistened. You dream of me. You hate your mouth for its water. 3. But if we go together. Before I fire her, the therapist asks, what is it like to be a black woman here? A monologue, after Ross Gay. I love your hair. You always wear such interesting things. What did you do before this? Wow, are you from Detroit? What was that like? Tell me what your thesis is about. That sounds really powerful. Your poem tonight was really intense. You'll appreciate this, since you're kind of ghetto. You worked so hard, you made it. So what did you think about that Junot Diaz essay? I'm suspicious of poems with an agenda that have a certain aboutness. Explain what you mean when you say risk. I'm really uncomfortable. I went to Detroit, Dearborn, and it's amazing how cheap the houses are. No, it's a really cool town. Are you a Tigers fan? That city is having a hard time for sure. I lived there once when I worked for Teach for America. How do you feel about people who claim Detroit but aren't really from there? I really love your hair. Is your work always so intense? That line is a little melodramatic. I'm not as smart as you, but I thought rape was about sex. What do you mean it's hard to date? I mean, you're here. Rap is about music. Let's not make it about race. Oh, come on. I only call people I love my nig. I don't mean this to sound racist. You don't seem like you date white guys, but I love how our skin looks when I hold your hand. I like women who live a natural lifestyle. You're so well-spoken. Wow, you've really read a lot. Ithaca must be way different than what you're used to. You can breathe now. You made it. This next poem is called Everything's Ask, Please Don't Find Me. I wake early to wash the wild dirt from my hair. Instead, check my timeline to find a country not mine says it's legal for everyone to pretend at being a little less lonely if they want. I smoke on my porch swing while an old, easy like Sunday morning rat strolls down the sidewalk of my gentrified life. It's funny what you get used to mid-drag. Shut the gray day behind me, make a fresh pot of coffee. Where are the tweezers to pluck wires from my chin? Which wires do I dial at the HRC to ask them what they did for Shelley Hilliard's mother? If they could identify her child's body burned in pieces amongst uncut grass. Maybe I'll braid or two-strand twist into happy. Forget between shoveled forks of Satan. Most women who want to fuck me are internet activists who wish I'd just spend the night. It's Friday, and someone will throw a party with more red wine than whiskey. Can I stain my teeth for the summer? I promise. I'm trying to be more happy. I might pay my rent on time and not think about the student loan debt crisis. I try to wrangle these roots respectable, but this morning keeps getting in my way. Just gonna take a quick sip of tea. Failed reincarnation before olanzapine. My honeycomb illness of bees buzzing bright in the brain. Their sticky spittle turning hours in kaleidoscope that slow drip. The trees autumnal gold. How it latches to the shoulders of pedestrians like the take me with you of lovers. Take me across the thresh of whichever door might amp this song up. Good needle jitter. When the station stuck between Suffer and C'est La Vie. Who, in a body like this, can afford to believe in reincarnation, though once I dreamed a river of mercurial silt and gold, bangles bridging over my opened wrist, and the sun's radial rippling despite rising brown water. Here, language in limbo, of leveraging one evening for a hush if you can manage, a whisper taught, or torch, or touch, can bind you to a fever if unchecked, let. Wound, then bruise, renders blues inevitable. From the green porch, I swing between the whir of dissolving cars that whip and exhale. Panic pitters its bass line like a house track, begs, dance, 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 asks if you believe in a God who demands to witness what worship wild abandon becomes. This next poem is called Breakbeat Nocturne with Anemones and Lucky Fish. February fever, and the body begs deliverance. In line, women teem with brink, shudder against the shrill season, ecstatic coronas piercing through the veils between us. I give up my name and pay nothing. Descend into the mouth of the club where cumbia slips off my thick coat. You flit between floors, green rooms, beneath yellow streetlights, high off echolocation, chest warm with menthol, the heat of our need to come. I center my hips in the crowd's nexus, conjure a deep song, salt, so sweat a sea of wild anemones. Between your thresh and breakbeat, maestro of trap and tropical bass, I slither and bend into every note. Torso in translation, pelvis sapid premonition, bones drunk on steel drum and hand clap. What is the body for, if not this black writhe of being alive, the semblance we submit to, and the wild language of air sucked between teeth? In the grimoire of my life, see lucky fish, 1,000 questions curled as cowrie, wants, rich, and how long, despite the world's benevolent violence, I kept death waiting, 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 and waiting. A longed for, which I enter gratefully for CO. Scrape slow with ink, I return. Question what is a symbol other than a constellation of becoming. We debate which dogmas can withstand the years. Your fingers like primas toe fresh hot scars with ointment until we stand in one shadow spilled against the late summer light across your bathroom floor. You, home when I am want. You salve like this and this and this. Light blinks us back to that Harlem fire escape, where we fired frenetic cigarettes into the sun, talking about our fathers, whether the duende of making love is capable without apparitions or constant in an omen's lap. And if we're dying for clarity these days, veils are nimble, breach, bones grow despite their feeble failure. We ask what ambient garbled news is now. Touch for the act of touching. My need for tenderness, so small it fits at the edge of a fingernail, at the edge of the fingernail's edge. At night, we sleep in the same bed, pull breezes from our breathing. I only snore when it's safe. No, safe means sleep close to, like this, and to this. Thank you so much. You can purchase your copies on pre-order from Yes Yes Books directly. Please, please, please directly support small presses who are having a challenging time during the pandemic. And then orders for that will start to be shipped next month for its August release. And speaking of small presses, I wanted to also recommend a fantastic and dexterous and imaginative collection of poems and performance, which I hesitantly sort of say because I believe this writer sort of defies genres, but the book is by Carlos Sarra. It's called The High Alive, an epic voodoo diptych. It's a diptych, so one side is the light body, and then the other side is the utterances. This is released by the Third Thing Press, which is a brand new press that just launched this year based out of Seattle, Washington. So definitely please go to the Third Thing Press and check that out. They have some really incredible titles that are breaking boundaries in a really remarkable way. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you again so much for spending time with me for me, what is a Saturday afternoon, but I hope the day brings you pockets of comfort and peace in these tumultuous times. Please, please, please take care of yourselves, and especially take care of those around you, loved ones, community members, and everyone who comes into your path. Thank you so much again.